This tank is the LT432. This is a Russian Tier 8 light tank. The map is Prokhorovka. You can see that I'm going into the town, and we're going to see what's going to happen. Usually what I try to do is ambush the enemy. You can see that I'm going over here. I'm going to spot some enemy tanks. We've got the 4 tanks over here. And what I used to do is show up with an autoloader or with a derp gun, bang them, and then run. But what I have a replay where what I do is I run through the buildings back and forth and up on this hill, and I just keep shooting at them again and again and again. I believe it was with a T92. So what I could do, this is really not a good spotting position because you need to be able to spot the enemy when they're at the back of the hill. You can see that there's all these enemy tanks over here. My allies are not shooting at them. No SPG in the game. My allies didn't take advantage of this, which is too bad. I didn't want to fire my gun. Maybe I'll fire at this guy right at the last second. No, I didn't. You want to keep your auto aim on somebody because if you have designated target, you get an extra couple seconds. So get in the habit of doing that. I realized that I wasn't spotting anything, so I had to reposition. So over here we got a line on that KV4. I got 140 spotting damage. I'm checking the distance to make sure I'm not within the proximity spotting range. So let's look. You see this road? If you're on my side of the road, you will not be proximity spotted by that tank. So I'd like to know if I'm spotting that guy. I didn't think I was because when he pulled up, I thought he was easily going to be spotted by my allies. But it looks like I'm spotting the Conqueror, who is right there. I got 232 on that Conqueror. So when you get spotted, obviously you got to run, use as many buildings as possible to protect you, become unspotted, and then count to 10 if there's no SPG, and then decide what you want to do, hide again or leave. There were some games where I was spotting, and I was sitting there spotting, and I thought, oh, these guys just aren't going to spot me. But then what happened was their light tank went up on the hill, and it was because of him that I got spotted, because obviously he's got a better spotting range than his allies. So that's something you do have to be aware of. You notice that we don't see an enemy light tank. WZ132, he's already out of the game. There's an ELC even 90, and he hasn't been spotted yet. Wow, they didn't spot me. Okay, so we just learned something. When I started out, I went to a bush on the other side of that building, which was where I go to ambush the enemy. It gives me time to get there. I spot them as they cross over. I hit them. This bush, you can spot those tanks even when they're a little bit on the other side. This might be a better spotting bush to go at the start of the game. That one over there, that's too dangerous because you might get spotted by the Conqueror and the whole line. You could easily get spotted by any tank riding along the rails. The other option is these bushes right over here. So this looks like it's the spotting bush that you're going to want to try when you're spotting the hill. If you see a lot of tanks in the game that you think might climb that hill, head for this bush. They're afraid to advance. They know they're going to get spotted. Okay, so and one of the other things that I'm starting to do is I'm scanning the field to look for things like, is this tree knocked down? If the tree's knocked down, I know there's going to be a spotter there, and I know all the spotting locations. So that's one of the little tricks that I'm using in order to figure out to get myself a little bit of an advantage, doing it with the SPGs and of course with any tank. Scores 5-9. It's sad that we're losing. Now this is an example where I did everything right. I was in a good position. I kept the enemy pinned down, but unfortunately my team is not pulling it through. We lost. There's really, after that Carnarvon dies, there's nobody on my team that's going to shoot at that tank. And now the Carnarvon's dead. So now I'm alone here. And if any of these guys get spotted, they're going to know I'm here. That was weird that that shot just came in. Oh, it must have been someone off in the distance. So now I got trouble. You know, I got to help my team. I got 2 TDs. Oh, I got spotted. Okay, what I could have done was turned my tank to angle the front towards him and the rear towards the west. You see I'm going in the water. I guess maybe I'm not. But okay, it looked like he was getting a little bit too close, so I headed for the water. But the water is too deep. I kind of forgot. You know, I haven't played in here often enough. So it didn't help me out. I should have stayed out of the water. Not doing me any favors. Doesn't look like... I don't think I'm going to be able to kill the rest of the 9 tanks on the enemy team. Yeah, that's too bad. So I got 2,400 spotting that was reported in game. 184 damage.